Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, all dear viewers. Welcome to my show, Sporttalk. This is your host, Hussein Mahmood, bringing you live debates and developments in key areas on this platform, UC TV. Firstly, it goes without saying, myself and the team here at UC TV could not appreciate all our viewers and fans enough for all the support and encouragement we've been getting so far. So thank you sincerely. Please do continue to like, share and comment on all media content being published, and please do subscribe to UC TV for ongoing notifications, as well as my Sporttalk fan page on Facebook and Insta. We've completed 14 episodes so far, and we're certainly getting closer to knowing why we are not yet seeing British South Asians breaking into top flight football. All episodes are available upon YouTube, UCTV with a green logo. Navigate to playlist and watch, like and share your views. We're breaking the mould and making the change happen. The topic we're pressing needs attention, so Sporttalk provides a platform to give our youth added intelligence on and off the pitch, paving the way with the advanced professional insights across all aspects of the game. Diversity, equality and a fair qualification system being my number one agenda. So all my views, I need you, the current and the next generations need us, and we need this change to happen. Let's not leave this for someone else to do. Let's stay tuned, stay blessed, and let's work together for a mutually beneficial outcome. Power of the people. Alongside myself today, we have my guest, who is a journalist, a columnist at Lancashire Telegraph and co-founder, editor of Asianimage. When it comes to football, he's helped set up BankTop Rovers in 1989 and went on to play and then manage the club thereafter. He has organised some of the region's major football tournaments, including the Cancer Relief Tournament, which began in 2000, and the North West Football Championships, also known as the Asianimage Cup. So, without further ado, let's bring in my guest today, Mr. Shuiab Khan. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalaam.
How are you doing today?
I'm alright, yeah, I got out of the house for a change.
That's good. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show, first of all. It's a real pleasure to have you. We have been, I'm not sure if you did mention previously before offset that you have watched some of the shows.
Yeah, I mean, I watch everything I do, yeah.
Yeah, good man.
Everything.
Good man. Well, you've been mentioned a couple of times before with some of our guests. Obviously, you stay tuned in the football circuit. What I'd like to do, first of all, if you will, Shuiab, is just understand and kind of go back in history, really, and tell us how this Cancer Relief tournament started.
Well, we started back, I think it was 1998, when me and Iqbal and Ishmael, I think there was a tournament here at Witton Park, Islamic Relief one. So we decided, I think the year after, let's do a big tournament. So we started off with the Cancer Relief one. So that was myself, Iqbal and Ishmael. I think everybody knows Ishmael, everybody knows Ishmael.
Yeah,
he's the chairman of Blackburn United.
Blackburn United, yes, I was going to say.
And Ishmael is the referee secretary.
Okay, one of the four founders of the Hawthorns League, which we've
he's also
studied before.
So them two guys, we got together, we decided, right, let's do this football tournament. We did it, and normally what happens with Asian football tournaments, let's be honest, they start and, like, you're supposed to start at 11 o'clock, you start at 2, you finish at 9 o'clock at night, in between you have 7 fights, and then everybody
unfortunately.
So we decided to get rid of all that and make it a generic tournament for everyone, so it wasn't just for Asian people. I mean, most of the teams, I think I remember about 60% were Asian, 40% were
okay, so a decent mix.
Yeah, a decent mix of people, and it was kids at the same time as seniors. So the first one we did in 2000, and alongside us was Javed Feroz, whose father we were raising the money for.
Okay.
For the cancer.
Tika, okay, all right.
So Christie's Against Cancer, so he supported us quite well. So that's where it started off, and that was a 7-a-side tournament, the first one we did. I think then afterwards, I think the Preston guys got together. They did theirs in 2002 or 2001. But that's where it kind of started off, and the idea was that, look, we give people fixtures. They turn up at 10 o'clock. If they're not there at 10 o'clock, you forfeit your game next person. So after the first day, we did it. Next year, everybody turned up at 10 o'clock because they realised, hold on, we're not turning. If we turn up late, we're going to lose our game.
Yeah, because a lot of kind of organisers are a bit...
A lot of organisers thought, right, we'll do 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. And then by 6 o'clock, we had the final. Everybody was there. Everyone was so happy because I think the big problem we have is a bad idea of bad organisation, things that are happening, and then
A little bit slack.
and we have that reputation. I think we try to change that reputation.
Yeah, get more professional.
Get more professional, get
Be on
people
time, right attitude type of stuff. And has that been a success? How's that been rolling over the years?
Yeah, I think we did it up until about 2014, 15. But then by that time, I think that's run its course.
Right, okay, so you had a good 10 plus years.
Yeah, 10, 12 years, but I think it run its course. The main reason being because then by that time, more people were playing 11-a-side. They didn't want to play 7-a-side.
Sure, good, which is great, which is what this show is really about in terms of grassroots and professionalism. Did you get some captions in there and some articles in the Asianimage whilst the Council to Leave tournament was going on?
Yeah, that was the whole point of it. We'd do the tournament, then I'd get the pictures, I'd put them in the paper, and then we'd review who was the best player, who was the worst player. I think then kind of people got interested more into it, thinking, right.
I bet that opened up quite a lot of debate in the community.
Yeah, I've got to get on myself, I've got to be in the game, I've got to make sure that we win, or we get in the final, I'm going to be best player, most scored, or best goal, and so forth. So that's where the interest kind of started, and a lot of the time you just started off with a couple of guys, myself and Jab and Ishmael and Iqbal, just realising, right, let's just do a tournament, but let's make sure we start on time, we finish on time. In between, anybody who fights, has any problems, out the door.
Yeah, that can't be the culture, can it?
Yeah, you can't be the culture.
And you've got to
I
understand
remember
that.
myself playing in the 90s.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it does get a bit of friction there on the pitch.
You get that. You get a bit of friction.
You're going to get that everywhere, aren't you? Really, but it's how that's managed and how that's handled. Really.
Yeah, I mean, it was just people had bad reputations about Asian tournaments, and I think it changed it because then the idea was, look, we're not all, the teams want to come and play football. They don't want to come and fight. They don't want to do
no,
this.
Of course, no, definitely not.
They don't want to turn up late. They don't want to pay £50 entry fee, and then you guys start 3 hours late and send them home.
Yeah, so it can't work like that.
Yeah, it can't work like that. So.
Did you find some good players there at the time? I do have a series of questions for you. I don't want to go too much, but the standard. How do you feel the standard was at that time?
It was good. 2000, the final. I remember the very first final. It was a team from Preston, and they played a team from Blackburn called the Molten Hops Pub.
Was this one of the first tournament?
That was the very first tournament. It was the Molten Hops Pub got to the final.
Okay.
And they had a very good team.
Was it a final English lads against Asian
Yeah, no, but
team?
the Deepdale lads had a bit mix.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay. Cool.
And it was the Deepdale lads who won, but. The Molten Hops team from Blackburn, they're 7-a-side, they're a good side, they got to the final.
Yeah, but the Preston team won it.
Preston team won it, yeah.
Yeah, I do hear coming from these shows, and at that time there has been a kind of a transition from Preston standard of football to Blackburn that was obviously did quite well, and it's when he had his young superstars coming up, and then unfortunately.
There's a big rivalry between Blackburn and Preston, and one year Preston would win it, next year Blackburn would win it. But I'd say, to be honest, on 7-a-side and local tournaments. It was actually the Preston lot who
were doing well at that time.
Yeah.
And towards the end of the tournament, were you finding that Blackburn's kind of coming to the party?
Yeah, I think some of the younger lads are getting to it, but I think Preston, they just had this focus on 5-a-side and 7-a-side, so I think that's why they probably did better.
Did better at that time, yeah. Okay, well that's good. Look, that's a really good achievement. And just want to let you know that I also was a part of a winning team in that Council of the League tournament.
What year was yours?
I think so. It was, if I remember right, 2003, maybe. I think 2002, 2003.
All right, okay.
It was over at Witton Park. It was a lovely sunny day. It was.
Yeah, lovely sunny day. Most of the time, only rained once, I think.
And we was there from 9 a.m. I think. First game was at about 9:30, quarter to 10, I think.
9 o'clock.
So 9 o'clock it was the start, and we was there right the way through till about 5 o'clock in the evening, 6 in the evening. Great ceremony. Excellent work. So thank you very much for creating that tournament and letting me be a part of it. And most of all, win everything that's available.
That's good.
Okay, so I'm just going to move on to something that you've done also with the Asianimage Cup. Do you want to tell us a bit about, because that's on grass, isn't it?
Yeah, that's another thing. I think that started first in 2001, and that was basically, there was not many Asian teams that time. And we just decided to ask for Asian FC, Canaries, Blackburn United and Park United to get together and just have a mini tournament. And it just started in 2002. And we played the first one at Griffin Park.
Okay.
I think it's the home of Mill Hill now. But at the time it used to be Blackburn Rovers Reserve or something.
Like a training ground as such, yeah.
Before Mill Hill took over. So we had 4 teams there, and then the next year we had 4 teams. And we carried on. About 2006, we decided to increase it to 6.
Okay.
And then I think
How further afield did you go? I mean, I know Yas. You may know of Yas. Yasser Farouk.
Yeah.
Shout out to Yasser Farouk. Great show. Alhamdulillah. And he did mention the Asianimage Cup quite a bit. And he was very excited and keen on that cup.
Yeah,
Great standard he
what I
mentioned.
tended to do was we found that at the beginning you got 4 teams and then more teams want to join. And then those 4 teams, 1 or 2 of them might be thinking, well, we don't want those other teams coming in.
Okay.
But then my philosophy was, look, to be honest, if
you're
you
good
guys
enough.
want to come in, let them come in.
Yeah, if you're good enough.
So then in 2008, when we held it first at Blackburn Rovers training ground, we had 8 teams. And Yasser's team came in, copies.
Copies United, right?
I'll be honest with you, most of them told them nobody actually gave them a chance, really. They thought.
Yeah, he did also mention on the show, our viewers will know that he had a pretty tough time of it.
Yeah, and that's when we actually started doing the draw too. I think it was 2007, 2006, we started doing, we get the teams together, the managers together, we have a draw. So we take them to a restaurant, we feed them,
Yeah.
everyone's happy, then we do a proper draw, and we use the same set of
And then some people are unhappy.
Yeah, the ball comes out and 1 or 2 teams laugh at the other teams, but copies at that time, 2008, I got to give it to them, they came in, they won. Then after that, nobody said anything about a new team coming in.
Well, no.
I said, look, anybody who wants to come in, the new team, let them come in.
Heavily underdogs.
Yeah, I mean, then the year after, it was Bolton United's turn, because they were saying, oh, Bolton want to play.
Yeah, which they're doing really, really well at the moment. I had
Yeah.
Sal Docky and Sakil on from representing Bolton United.
Yeah.
Mashallah, he had another great show. Our viewers could catch that up on demand on UCTV, YouTube. Great show. They're telling us about the academies, under 14s academy doing really well, the senior players. So that's really good stuff. I take it you took a lot of pictures, Shuaib, and you got.
Yeah, because I usually report on myself, so I took the pictures myself, I reported on myself, and then I printed myself and put the headlines on myself. Basically, it was a one-man band.
Yeah,
People don't
really
realise with the Asianimage, a lot of the time, it is a one-man band. It's always
Lot of
been a
hard work,
one-man band.
lot of
for the
hard
last
work
20
going
years,
in.
yeah.
Alhamdulillah. And did you get a lot of kind of attraction from them Asianimage in terms of readers and people?
Yeah, well, the thing is, before we started doing it in 1997, what you tended to do with Asian newspapers and any minority newspapers, nobody wanted, all they did was put cricket in from Pakistan, India, or national stuff, because nobody could be bothered going down on a Saturday and taking pictures of a couple of guys playing football in the pouring rain. Because that's what it basically boils down to, is going down and taking pictures when nobody else wants to take pictures. Sometimes, I know some of the people, most of the people maybe watching will realise, sometimes been horrible weather, but there's a big game on and you'll go down and cover it. That's what the whole point of a newspaper is, to cover stuff that other people don't want to do. So that's what we always started to do. And even now, I'll be perfectly honest with you, most Asian newspapers or websites won't do that, because it requires you to go down.
Yeah, physically go down.
Football is like that.
Yeah.
You can't just pick it up, especially amateur football. You have to physically go down and do the work.
Great.
You can't just rob it off someone's website. You have to go down, either take the picture, you have to watch the whole game.
Yeah, but being at your show, the Asian Cup, and was it yourself who started that up, or was it the Jabs and the Ismail?
No, the Asianimage Cup was ours. To be honest, myself and Iqbal.
Right, yourself and Iqbal once again.
I've got to give credit to Iqbal. Even Ishmael got us the referees, and
Yeah.
that's where it all started, to be honest.
Great, so it's kind of the same guys.
Same guys,
Same team.
but then we carried on, and then I think about 2008, when we started doing it at Rovers, up the road from Preston.
Is that the Blackburn Rovers ground, is it?
Yeah, the Blackburn Rovers training ground.
Training ground, right, okay.
Yeah, so up the road from Canaries, he helped us quite a lot with that. And then obviously my good friend Mr. Ali's been running around doing all the background work on his football day.
Ali, I've not mentioned it. I'm not sure I've come across Ali.
Yeah, he's a good. So basically, me and him are BankTop through and through. You see, so that's
all right, BankTop. Okay, all right, through and through, right?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent work. And how's the Asian Cup actually holding up in terms of consistency, the level of football really, and how our British South
I think
Asians
it's
are kind of playing?
the other thing was with this cup. The idea was that if you're not Asian, you can play. Because there used to be, I know there's other tournaments where there used to be ones in Oldham, there's one in London. If you were not Asian, they won't let you play. And I used to think, well, this is back in 2000. I said, look, this guy's playing for your team all year, and he's not Asian. And when it comes to the end of the season, the tournament you're having, you're going to tell him he can't play because he's the wrong colour. I think bit
Controversial.
So I basically used to say, look, bring who you want, play who you want.
Fair enough. And
If you got 7 Asian players, you got 7. If you got 6, you got 6. You got 5. I mean, a lot of the time, our players were happy with it because they used to think, well, that's fine.
That's sweet. I mean, Yasser also mentioned going up to Scotland. I mean, Ali, you mentioned Ali, was it?
Yeah, Ali, yeah.
What's his full name? Ali, what did you do?
Muhammad Ali is
Muhammad
well, basically, he's been running BankTop with us for
BankTop.
20, 25 years.
Putting a lot of hard work in.
Yeah.
On the football ground, I say we've got to. I love giving shout outs, by the way. I absolutely love it. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali at BankTop. Excellent work. Keep it going. You're making it happen. I wish you all the best, and please do continue with your hard work and all your effort. So, Shuiab, how many years did the Asianimage Cup run?
It's still going. We just didn't do it last year because of coronavirus.
Okay.
So we've had. Actually, this year will be 20 years.
20 years?
Yeah.
Mashallah, great work.
We've done the finals at Ewood Park, Fleetwood Town, Chester City.
Scotland, it was...
No. Basically, what's happened is the Scotland thing is basically the Scottish FA support it and they do their thing up there.
Right.
So they've been doing it for about 15, 20
So we're
years.
holding the Asian Cup more locally here.
Yeah, this is basically for North West.
And
it's kind of taken in Halifax, who joined us in, I think, 2014.
Yorkshire side, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Excellent.
Most of the teams, I'll be honest with you, the teams were happy they joined because it's more competition.
Yeah, it's more competition, more numbers, a greater competition. And
numbers-wise now, we can actually do an Asianimage Cup with about 16 teams.
Excellent.
We just don't have the pitches.
Excellent.
The only way we managed to do it is because Nelson Football Club and Fayaz manages to give us the football ground and say, look, there you go.
And that's at Nelson.
Games, I'll put the floodlights on for you. It's not easy to get a football pitch.
No, it's not. I mean, Yasser did mention this facility was a big one. And you mentioned that Fayaz as well. Is that Nelson? Nelson, he's been mentioned a few times.
No, he's put a lot of graft in. That's hard stuff.
Another grafting member. Well, I'll have to pause.
You want to get him on this show?
Has to be a big shout out, and I'll come back to that as well, Shuiab, because you mentioned this, and I really appreciate it. This platform really gives us the means to kind of reach out to these guys. So Fayaz over at Nelson, mashallah, alhamdulillah, please continue with your efforts. All your hard work will not be going to vain, and inshallah it will be put into good purposes, and we will continue with your hard work. Keep it going, mashallah, Muhammad Fayaz. So yeah, I mean, coming back onto it now, because you're a journalist there, Shuiab, I'm sure you've captured some great moments. So I was off set and I thought to myself, okay, what would a journalist be the best moments? So if you were, Shuiab, in your own experiences, in your own time, may I ask you a set of questions?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
It's all
be
about,
honest as possible.
Yeah, honest. Well, that's fine. It's not about me anyway. So any players that kind of want fiction has got to be offset.
I'll be honest with you.
I just want to know
for the last 20 years.
It's your opinion, and I could hope all goes well. So my first question to you, really, first, Shuiab, through your experiences at Asianimage and Cancer Relief and everything that you covered in your stories, who would you say is the best 11-a-side team that you've witnessed or kind of seen on the pitch?
Yeah, there's been a couple of good sides, but
a couple of good ones.
Picture there, I think that's come up.
There's a picture up. There we are.
Those guys deserve it, basically, because since
who are those guys?
Those guys are Coppers United.
Coppers United? Yeah. Oh, well done.
I mean,
that's great work.
The reason I'd say Coppers United is because...
Is my mate Yasser Farouk on that picture?
He's in there somewhere. I think he's on the back row.
There we are.
Yeah. I think he looks a bit...
young.
He's probably a couple of years older. I think the reason is because they've managed to sustain their success. So there was a period where about
consistency
9 years, they probably weren't playing the best, but they still managed to get to the final. They still managed to win.
Okay.
So they managed to get to the final, or they've managed to
win the most trophies.
I mean, on par with them. I mean, Halifax did do well for about 2-3 years.
Is that the Halifax Hammers?
Halifax Hammers.
Yeah. I've been doing my research here.
Yeah. There's been some other good teams like Blackburn United, I think, in about 2003 onwards. Park United were good. But I think you've got to give it to Coppers, because there's a couple of periods where they were basically...
Sounds like they had a really good
they weren't. Sometimes they would play a match and it was just team spirit getting them through.
Hot.
Yeah, I watched them and I've seen them, and sometimes it was just team spirit getting through, and sometimes it was.
There we are. full screen. I'm trying to pick Yasser out there. Oh, there he is. He's at the back, second from the left. There he is. He didn't have any hair
so
there.
this is there at Ewood Park.
Ewood Park. Is this when they won it, or was it?
This is when they won it. I think they played Halifax, which Halifax is a really good team too. I think it was a really good
game.
Good game. Yeah.
Good game.
Yeah.
Two teams.
Two good teams. I mean, they've been
Deservedly in the
teams
final
over the years, but I've got to give it to Copper.
Excellent, great insight. Thank you very much. So, top 11 aside team. A lot of good teams you mentioned, but you've got to give it to
I've got to give it to Coppers. Yeah, I mean, you can't
take away
the fact that they managed to win even when they weren't playing that well.
Great. Okay, so which team has been the best footballing team for you? What I mean by
footballing team. Now, I was having a discussion a couple of. I think a couple of months back actually. You know what it is with Asian teams? They try to, when they started playing grass, they try to change that idea, thinking we need to play differently to win the game.
Okay, yeah.
That's not necessarily the case. I don't think that they should do that. They should carry on playing the way they should. And the best footballing teams I've seen over the years, probably two of them. One's Bolton Asians.
Okay.
When they started off, I liked. They didn't change their style in any way. It was the same way they played in 2008. It's the same way they play now.
And we've got a picture there on the screen.
I think that was from 2000.
Is that Bolton United?
Bolton Asians.
Bolton Asians. Yeah. Sorry, right. Yeah, it was first called Bolton Asians. Is that right?
Yeah, before Bolton Asians, then became Bolton United.
Bolton United, because I remember Sol. He was mentioning. I can't see Sol in there. Can I see him anywhere?
Oh, he's right at the front.
Oh, there he is, right at the front, right. Is there Sakil in there, my friend?
I don't think he's in there.
He's not there because he's a bit of a youngster, didn't he? Talking some days about
probably wasn't.
So the best footballing, and when you say that, we're talking about the way
I'm saying is that they haven't changed
the
the style. A lot of teams have changed their style to accommodate and think, well, I need to get stronger players in.
Yeah, rather than change because Sol talked a lot about bringing the 7-a-side into 11-a-side, which is a lot of one-touch football.
I think he managed to do it.
And he managed
Most teams haven't managed to do it.
And
recently now, I think Euro guys have maybe done it, but a lot of teams haven't managed to do it.
Yeah, we know Top is playing for Euro guys. He's been on the show as well.
A few teams haven't done it. And there's another footballing team which is very good. I like these guys because it was. I remember playing actually against them, I think about 15 years ago, and they beat us 7-2 or something. But they're very. Bolton. This is Rome FC.
Yeah.
This is a Blackburn team.
Okay.
So they're a good footballing team, but on small scale, not on grass. Yeah, so
which really was my next question. Which is your best 5-a-side team?
Oh, the next 5-a-side team would be most likely I'd have to give it to Canaries.
Canaries, right?
Preston, yeah, because these guys went down. I remember covering this back in 2001 and 2002, and there was a national Sony football tournament. So basically, you had the best 5-a-side teams from across the country. So the best of the best. So these guys went
across the country,
the whole country, and it's based
5-a-side.
You had to go to London to play it.
And it was Sony sponsored tournament.
Sponsored by Sony.
Excellent. Sounds good. Sounds big.
Even Sony TV even aired the games.
Oh, fantastic!
So these guys went down. First year they won it.
Canaries did, right?
Canaries did.
They went down and they actually won it.
They won it.
Go on, lads.
From Preston.
Very good effort. Are these the boys, right?
There's the boys, yeah. Most of these guys are probably in mid-40s now.
Okay.
I think you've had Imran Akuji there. He's there at the front holding the cup.
Yes, we have had Imran Akuji. Mashallah, another great show. Shout out to Imran Akuji. Is he? Where's Imran? Oh, there he is. Okay, they're holding the cup, yeah, on the left-hand side.
Yeah, on the left-hand side. So what they did is they managed to do is they went down the season after and then they won it again.
Okay, and how many teams was in that Sony tournament?
I think there's loads of teams.
A good 30, 40 plus teams.
You basically have to qualify
10-minute
games.
Get
into it, yeah.
You have to qualify to get into it.
Into the tournament, yeah.
And then Canaries went on to win it.
Canaries went on to win it, but then in terms of the next few years after that, every time there was a 5-side tournament, Canaries would win it.
They just win it, right?
They're just too good.
Very good. Yeah. Very good news. So when we're talking about talent, and you're talking about British South Asians, and then you're talking about Sony tournaments, our Asian guys are going in and winning it.
I'm going to give it to them. They did. They won it first year, and they won it again second year. I mean,
and we're talking about
even now, if you had that same set of lads now playing in a 5-side tournament, they'll probably win it.
They're still winning.
Yeah, because they've got to look. If you look at that team,
There you have it, viewers.
There's 5 very good players.
Old legends don't die. The legends remain forever. That is a really good achievement, though, even from an editing journalism kind of point of view. There, Shuiab. I mean, is that something that you kind of slotted into your article to say that a bunch, 5, 6, 7 lads from Preston, Asian, British South Asians.
I remember covering them last.
British South Asians.
I think it was 2001, so we're going back 17, 18 years.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But when I'm looking at this and I'm thinking British South Asians, a nationwide tournament sponsored by Sony, and they not only go win it, but they win it again.
They win it again, yeah.
So I mean, that kind of
see the size of the trophy.
That kind of seals the deal, does it? In terms of talent and playing the game football. Does anything really need to be said more than that to give our youth encouragement?
I mean, to be honest, we've had a lot of talented players. I've seen a lot of talented players over the years, 5-a-side, 7-a-side. But I think some of these tournaments, I think there's some of the other ones have been held recently. I think there's another team from Preston actually went down and won it.
Yeah.
Deepdale, I think it was it Deepdale La Coruña? Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I'm pretty good talent coming from Preston.
A couple of years ago, yeah. So the 5-a-side, they actually do go out, and they don't go in the intention of just competing. They go in the intention of winning.
They're not just taking part; they're taking over, and they are actually taking over. So thank you very much for that. Best 11-a-side, best 5-a-side team goes to Canaries, and I think that's says it for itself when they're going down to winning national tournaments. Well done, guys. You make us all proud. Alhamdulillah. Keep it up. Pass the knowledge on, transfer the skills. Moving on to my next question, Shuiab. Once I unlock my laptop, do bear with us a moment. I'm sure you've had some excellent stories. So, the best 7-a-side team next, then, Shuiab, if you will.
Okay, best 7-a-side team. I hated this team. I'll be honest. I hate this team. These guys are.
That's a great start?
Because I played against these guys.
But they're that good.
I don't say they're that good. I mean, a lot of the time, they actually won the game in the first 5 minutes, having basically bullied the opposition into defeat. But at the same time, they had some very good players.
Physically fit, physically strong guys.
Physically strong guys. If you look at that. Picture there, there's obviously the Mushi's in there.
All right.
And you've
got over here. Okay, let's have a look. If it was Majid Shafiqi, he would have said they're from Balochistan.
Well, look at the kit. I mean, let's be honest.
He was them guys are pretty tough and pretty.
They used to have a horrible kit, and they used to win every single match. I mean,
it was probably the kit that put everybody off, sure.
Yeah, it probably was the kit all the way they look, but
you can't deny it.
They've got some very good players.
You have to give credit.
I mean, they got.
Got to give credit where credit is due.
And so forth.
So there's a couple of players you mentioned there. Fiaz,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's him on the left-hand side of the top.
Left-hand side of the top. Okay. Fiaz has been mentioned a couple of times. I've not had the pleasure to meet Fiaz, but if you watch him, well done.
I think bottom.
Sorry, who's that again?
Bottom right.
What's his name again? Sorry. Maluk.
Yeah.
Another good player.
Yeah, he's very, very brilliant. I mean, he's brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. Good. What position did he play?
Defence. To be honest, with Wally Range, it's very difficult to figure out who's playing where.
Right. Okay. This is a Wally Range team, is it?
It's the Wally Range team, yeah.
Well,
I'll be honest with you, I hate them because they used to beat us all the time. So.
What's the name of the team against you?
Wally Range.
Wally Range was the name, yeah?
Yeah.
Of the team.
That's the name. Wally Range FC.
And why would you say that they was one of the best teams?
Well, the same reason I say is they'd win, and sometimes they'd be 2-0 down with 2 minutes to go, and they win the game 3-2. It was just
competitiveness.
They were very competitive.
Yeah, but eager.
They're very eager.
Fight.
Yeah.
Sounds like a passionate team.
Oh, very passionate team. Yeah.
Sounds a bit like gladiators.
Well, it was about playing like gladiators. You've seen the guys in the picture. I mean, who would want to turn up with that lot?
Sure, I've got to pause it right there. I'm really interested to know the rest. We've got to take a short break. We'll be back. Stay tuned. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back, all dear viewers. Please do continue to like and share on all our media content. We've just with our guest discussing all the many aspects of the game and his best pick so far. So let's continue with the next question, Shuiab. My next question to you, just before the break, really, you told us the 7-a-side team was Wally Rangers. Wally Rangers. Yeah, I call it Wally Rangers. Can I go on to the next question? I'll ask you, who is the best tournament team?
Best tournament team had to be these guys. I mean, these guys was from Preston, and they managed to get themselves to, I think, quite a few finals. When it came to tournaments, these guys really put it together. It's Santos.
Santos, yeah. A team that I have heard of quite a lot.
Yeah.
Santos. They did a lot of tournaments, didn't they?
They basically love going tournaments.
Yeah, the
5-a-side tournaments
yeah.
and 7-a-side tournaments. The 7-a-side tournaments, there was a period, I think, about 15 years ago. These guys were winning every single.
Yeah, that's why. That's what the pictures up. I was going to say they was in the white kits, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And yeah, they're the lads that I remember as well from my days.
Nobody liked playing against these guys again.
Are these the bit of gladiators as well?
They're a bit of gladiators, but at the same time, they're very good footballers. They were good footballers.
Well, I mean,
footballers.
You can't really knock it, can you? With this passion.
I mean, they were good footballers, but nobody liked playing against them because they, if they were winning, they would just break the game up, make sure the opposition didn't get in their half, and just win the game 1-0. So their aim was right. We get 1-0 ahead. Nobody's going to get that goal back.
Yes, and then they just kind of part.
That's what makes a good tournament team.
Yeah.
I have a game plan to say, right, we're going to win one way or the other. If the other teams, if it's we've gone 30 seconds in, we've scored for the next 15 minutes of this tournament game, we're not going to let them score. We're not going to let them get in the half. If it means 3 of us getting sent off, we'll do it.
Fearsome team. I had the pleasure of viewing them a couple of times, obviously, in my younger days. Yeah. I can tell you, very quick, very ferocious.
Well, very good, very ferocious. I've got to give them respect because I think they were.
Were they from Burnley, that team? Was it
No, Preston.
Preston, okay, there was Preston. Preston did very well at that time, didn't they?
Yeah,
were some of these players kind of playing for the other teams as well, or they all unique
sometimes
players?
They mix and matched and stuff, but I think these guys, Santos...
Mostly they were unique players in their own team.
They had their own little group of players, and they would basically play week in, week out with themselves. I mean, they got beat. They didn't win everything. I mean, Wally Rangers, I think they had another team called Babas and Mans who beat them several times. Canaries beat them, but... I mean, in terms of tournament-wise, once they were in the hat, nobody wanted to get drawn out against these guys.
No. You're unlucky lot, were you? Yeah. No, there was a very good team. I've definitely come across them before. Okay, so did you do a bit of editing on them, Santos, at the time?
Yeah, we did. I think they're the only team to win Blackburn and Preston tournaments, the local ones. They're the only team to win both.
Okay, at the same time. In the same year.
Yeah.
Excellent. Total domination on that front.
Yeah.
Very good. So again, once it comes to talent, and these tournaments, they're all mixed tournaments, aren't they? They're not.
Yeah, mixed tournaments. Anybody can play. They're not really.
Yeah. So, and you're finding there are teams of different backgrounds, and it's open game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's fair to say that these guys were dominating.
Yes.
At that time. So when I'm thinking about talent in British South Asians, the talent's there.
Yeah.
It's unquestionable, right? So that should give our youth that confidence to break through into top flight football.
Yeah, most of these guys will be they'll be in their 40s.
Oh, absolutely.
They should be able to pass that.
But from a pedigree footballer point of view, and the skill sets required to kind of take it to the next level, the potential is there. What we're not seeing is unfortunately the bridge to top flight football and the coaching and the level stuff like that. But I won't get too technical on the football front with you, Shuiab.
No.
Great. Moving on to my next question then. Best small-sided player.
Best small-sided player, right. Again, I've got to give it to the guy who played for us. I've got to give it to 2 guys actually who played for BankTop. Obviously, I'm not being... I'm not going to be favourite. I'm not being
no favouritism,
biased in any way.
Okay.
Junaid Klang. Yeah, he played for Canaries. And he played 7-a-side.
Okay, so he was part of the Sony tournament.
Yeah, part of the Sony tournament. He's in that picture there.
There's a picture up.
Yeah.
We'll be in a minute.
Yeah, no, it's alright. So Junior Klang was a very good small-sided player. I mean, he was.
Yeah, what's one of the
he was
things?
basically a guy who could defend, he could attack, he could do everything. And I think most people watching this will agree. That
Right.
the
Junaid
guy
Klang.
Yeah.
Great.
And the
Excellent.
other one would be my old partner, Minaj Patel.
Okay, partner in.
Partner, yeah, because he used to play with me.
Okay, on the pitch, right?
I remember when he started out, because he was a bit small and a bit skinny, and people used to think, no, this guy's not all that.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised
Over
sometimes.
a 20-year period, if you still put him on a small side pitch, even now, at the age of 40, he will still probably run ragged down people. I mean, he's still managed to do it during that whole period.
I've seen some small guys head of the ball way past these big defenders, and they get up there somehow.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
I don't know how they do it. Maybe they cling onto the shoulders, whatever they're doing, but
Yeah.
they certainly get to the ball first.
Yeah.
So Junaid Klang's one of them, and the other guy was
Yeah, Minaj Patel.
Minaj Patel.
I mean,
Shout
the
out
reason
goes to you
being
both.
is because both of them, for a small party pitch, you've got to get up and down that pitch.
Yeah, absolutely.
And once you're free, you've got to make sure that ball ends up in the back of the net. So they're going to put the ball in the back of the net and they're going to
And
defend
they're
at the same
get
time.
back.
And it's very hard to do that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, box to box, end
Box
to
to
end.
box, very dark.
Absolutely, it is. So great stuff. Okay, so moving on to the best single 11-a-side player that you've either edited on or
Well, basically,
you've seen many a time.
managed and so forth over the years.
managed.
I've got to give it to this guy, Khalid Hafizi.
Khalid.
Now I'm going to say he's probably not the best player. So he's not really.
Khalid, sorry, what's his name?
Hafizi.
Hafizi. Okay, Teak.
I wouldn't say he's the best player, so nobody can say that he's the most thing. But I'd say over the last 20 years, this guy's been head and shoulders above everybody else. Because he started off as a winger and as a striker, then came back into defence, and last 10 years, I think he's. I'm not going to embarrass him by telling him his age, but. It's the attitude of going onto the pitch, and doesn't matter which team he's playing for. He could be playing for Black United, he could be playing for Uruguay, he could be playing for BankTop, he could be playing for Canaries. Whoever asked him to play, he's turned up and he's played at that level and he's gone home. I mean, there's no. There probably is better, more technically gifted players, but on grass for the last 20 years. I think most people will agree.
For the last 20 years as well. I mean, Khalid Hafizi.
Yeah.
I've got to give you a shout out.
Better players.
Consistency.
I mean, there's been some good players over the years, which we know of. We know there's some really good players like Suleiman Hafizi from Preston, and a couple of guys from Coppice and Bolton Nations. But I think over this 20-year period, Kyle probably does kind of stands a bit apart from the rest.
Yeah,
because I think it's a lesson to young players to say, look, if you keep yourself fit and you keep yourself going and you have the right attitude, you can carry on playing for so many years.
Absolutely. Well, that's the message I was taking on that for 20 years with Khalid Hafizi. That's a service to this team. And when you say
probably more than 20 years, I'm pretty sure you started off in about 1996. It's probably not going on to 25 years.
He's doing very well. Is he currently playing?
I think he's still currently playing. Yeah, the thing we got is even now, if you go down and we say, we need a centre back, somebody wants a centre back, you probably put him straight in.
Excellent work.
That's not saying
always made himself available.
Yeah, so
stayed injury free.
I know, but he'd probably get straight into the team. Not saying that the crop of players are as good, but it's probably because he still has that know-how to fit right in at centre back and he can still play.
Great work, lots of experience there. I'm sure he could use that experience to fit into any part of the pitch, and it'll be an absolute delight and a pleasure. People like Khalid Hafizi. Kaleem.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. Kaleem Hafizi. If he could transfer his skills and even his knowledge.
I think he has done. The other thing is he has been coaching. I think
he has. Excellent.
He's been
Excellent.
helping at Nelson, then he's been happy. He has been.
Mashallah, great. Well, I think it's time for a shout out then.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Kaleem Hafizi, well done. Keep it up. Keep up your hard work. You're doing a great job. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you and all your efforts, and we start to see the next British South Asians breaking into top flight football. Well done. Top stuff. Shuiab, moving on then, if I may. Best all-round player. So best all-round player.
Yeah, this is a difficult one, right? Because you can't really give it to one player.
Okay, yeah, I understand.
You can't really give. You can't say.
Because there's a lot of aspects.
There's a lot of aspects. I mean, I've seen.
There's a lot of things to take into account.
If you stick to grass and not.
I mean, if you used to do an edit here or journal or column here, and you had to kind of pick the one guy, even though it's really, really hard to do.
It's quite difficult. I mean, it's hard to pick someone on that, to be honest. I mean, I've seen some good players. I mean,
sure, I'm gonna have to squeeze an answer out of you. I mean, you're the journalist, you're the columnist. I've got to do this. I've got to do it for my views.
Yeah, I'd be embarrassing myself if I give you an answer. Let me think about it. I'll come back at the end of the show.
Okay, so park that one up for now.
Park that one up. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I don't forget much, Shuiab.
No problem.
Okay, so moving on. Best goal you've seen scored?
I've seen loads of goals. There's been good goals scored over the years. I mean, look at this picture here. I mean, it just shows about the guy's commitment. Look at the other two guys. They're about 7 foot more taller than him, and he's going up for the ball.
I recognise that guy. I'm pretty sure, if I could see that right, that is the guy that we all know of here, especially on Sporttalk. We've talked about quite a bit, and this time we've got a picture up on him. That looks like my friend Shaquille Butt, if I'm right.
Yes, it is Shaquille Butt, yeah. What I'd say is, I mean, for me, I've seen some really good goals scored over the years. There've been some brilliant ones. But for us, I think what it was, we were playing a 7-a-side.
They look like dragons with him.
We were playing a 7-a-side game. This actually isn't the goal. This is just him.
Right.
But we were playing a 7-a-side final match and BankTop Rovers, I think 2005. I think you've had Khalid Isat here.
Yes, absolutely.
And he made about 76 saves in that match. I was playing with
He's a quality keeper.
Injured knee. And then...
You was playing in the game?
I was in the game.
Okay,
I was playing
right.
injured knee, and then we had, I think Minaj we just mentioned, he was playing, and then there was Shaquille, and we needed to draw the match to win the league.
Okay.
And Shaquille went through 2 players at the other side and just managed to smack it into the corner somehow.
Somehow?
Yeah, and we won the game 1-0. But
excellent. And when you said what,
we should have
towards the corner, a cute angle was it?
I don't know how I managed to get it in.
Some people still don't know. I mean, I've been on the football pitch with him, and now whilst we're on the question as well, and I must say as well, I share my view with him, with yourself. The best goal, I was with Shaky, and Shaky Butt will be watching this, and I'm sure he is because he's a very keen footballer, great community guy, proactive in every area. And it was a really, really tight game, and it was a 7-a-side team in 7-a-side game in Darwin, and the other team had semi-professional players, and because they knew Shaky Butt was on the pitch and a couple of other players, they brought the best team out for us. And Shaky Butt actually at a difficult position of the game scored one of the best free kicks that I've ever witnessed, either on TV or live. It was a free kick. Absolutely brilliant. And when you say best goals, alhamdulillah, I've got to give it out to him. I'm not a journalist or columnist, but I do want to get in there, get my point across.
I mean, I've seen some good goals. I think for that one, it's because of the situation where we were. We weren't expected to win that game because FC and Pro Brokers is a very good team, and we were half a team, to be honest. I mean, they played it off down, and so saved. I think he must have made. I'm pretty sure he made, like I said, about 76 saves. He pulled all the saves, kept us all in the game, and then he went to the other side and scored the goal and we won.
So you're giving the goal, best goal,
yeah,
because of the situation of the game.
Before the situation of the goal, not necessarily the goal itself.
Yeah, the kind of where the situation was, the game was at that stage, and he single-handedly taking it on himself, which he's done very many times. I've witnessed before. Always great to get a mention with Shaquille Butt on the show. Moving on then, Shuiab, if I may. Best game that you've reported on.
Okay, best game. There's some good games over the years. I think the one in 2010, that Asianimage Cup between Canaries and Coppis was a good final.
Asianimage Cup, Coppis and Canaries. Sounds like a really good game.
Yeah, and I think Coppis were winning 3-1, then it went to 3-3, they brought it back to 3-3 and eventually ended 5-3.
Coppis winning?
To Canaries.
Canaries.
Yeah, but...
was this at the same time the Canaries were winning the Sony tournament? And
no, that was about 10 years
sometime later, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Canaries managed to win that. That was a good game too, probably one of the most interesting games to report on, because I think it was just one team was ahead, then the next team was ahead, then the next team was ahead. And so
2 and 4.
Yeah.
Good. Good game. Okay, so next question I have for you: the best footballing moment that you've witnessed.
Oh, footballing moment for myself. I think actually we like winning the tournament. I think 2015, these set of lads managed to come together and win it for Blackburn.
There we are. We have some pictures up. Sorry, Shuiab, you'll have to talk to me. I could barely just about make the pictures out from here. But what team is this then?
This is Blackburn FC.
Blackburn FC?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an amalgamation of BankTop Rovers and it's basically our Sunday League team.
Okay, BankTop Rovers, some of the Wally Range,
yeah, some of the Blackburn United boys. Yeah, and some of the Eurogard guys in there, they're all in there.
Yeah, I can't really say. Who are them players at the front there, Shuiab? Could you remember some of the names?
Yeah, you should be able to. There's, I think there's Khalib in the middle there. There's Sammy.
Khalib. Is that Shaquille Butt once again? I see. I think I do.
Shaquille was on the bench, yeah, but
Bless him.
He was in there.
Yeah. Who else have we got there?
We got the Pelage in the back.
Yeah, excellent. Some of them guys at the who stood on the side there, are they the sport staff?
Yeah. I think they're just helpers and some of our supporters, to be honest. It was good to see them.
Do I see? Is that Kola there as well?
Yeah, he's there. Yeah, he's
I'm sure I see. Is that Baby Kola?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason we won that was because I think that time most of the players decided, right, we're going to play this for the team and we're going to win it for the team. I mean, some of the outstanding performances, you had Javi Mohammed there, who's playing centre midfield.
Jav Mohammed, yeah, absolutely.
He managed to play
another ambassador.
Yeah, I think he managed to play the role of about 4 different players that day because
Jav did.
Yeah, because he did have Haroun next to him, Azim next to him, and they had a system. And I think we had a plan. We just said, look, we stay in the game till about 60 minutes, and then we throw on the youngsters like Nabil and some of the others, and Junaid Dalal, who's still playing, and they went and scored the winners.
Excellent. And what game was this again?
This was the final of the Asianimage Cup.
Final of the Asianimage Cup. And where was this one held?
This was at Nelson, the final.
There's a couple of other. Who's that other lad in there?
Amir,
is it?
Yeah.
Amir, excellent. So we've got. I know some of the lads in there. That looks like a pretty decent outfit. Was that the tournament? How did that finish?
Yeah, we won. I think we beat Halifax and then we beat Copies. It was very. I think the
in the final, Halifax
semi-final and the final.
Okay.
And it was the young players who scored the goals, which made a big difference.
That's really good work. That. Okay, so.
Well, actually, this actually isn't my best footballing moment.
That's not. Is it?
You won't have a picture for this. Okay. The best footballing moment actually is about 3 years ago when I took my. I managed my under-12s kids.
Okay.
For Abu Hanifa.
Right.
And I think they were under 11. So
is that in Blackburn as well?
Yeah, in Blackburn. Yeah. So my son plays for them, and I think every single game they're getting pagged 6-0, 4-0, 8-0, 9-0. So I think after about 14 games of losing 14 games on the trot, because you only had 9 players. So you have 9 players, and you need subs, but there wasn't enough players, so we always used to have the same 9. So I think one day they said, we're going to go Accrington. And the kids are going, no, we don't want to go Accrington, we're going to get pagged again. We're going to go, no. And I said, look, if you go and you win, we take you all to Casper's.
Okay.
So what happened was they went there and they won 4-0. Then I took them back to Casper's. So the bill came to £76, and they were so happy that look, we won one game. We don't care about whatever happens. We're having our ice cream. So they all went with that kit on. So it's good to. I mean, that was good winning that, and a couple of other tournaments we won over the years. But I think a bit of a lesson to most. I think most of the lads may be watching that. They probably go down, and not all. You're not going to win all the time. You have to. There's always teams that you lose every week. And I was the team that lose every week.
Well,
that day you win, then you remember that one day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Majid Shafiq was saying, good news brings about good performance, brings about more good news, and it's about development. It's a series of hard work and effort, and obviously that's when you start to see, reap the rewards of your hard work. So, Shuiab, that brings me kind of coming closer to kind of understanding, because what I really wanted to take your view on today is some of the talent that I've seen and I've shared the pitch with, because obviously I want to see things through a different lens, and I want to make sure that the things that I'm viewing or the kind of potential that I'm seeing, you're also seeing. And taking some of that into account, I can see that there's some great moments coming from your experiences over, 20 years or so? Or probably more, 25 years or so? So, on that basis, really, Shuiab, what I kind of want to get a hold of, or kind of put my finger on, is, first of all, my first question is, would you agree with me that the talent and potential in talent exists in what you've seen over the years?
Well, the talent is especially there. I think what's changed, I think people haven't realised this. I think during the 80s and 90s, before you had this rule about foreign players coming in and so forth, a lot of the clubs were going for the homegrown players. And I think that kind of changed in the 90s. I mean, I think the focus isn't as much as it was, because if you can get a half-decent player from somewhere in Europe, young player, then why would you then focus on your local communities and stuff? I think they need to go back to that time whereby they were focusing more on players within their local areas and so forth.
Absolutely, well, it's definitely more costly, more cost-saving method for one.
It is more cost-saving method, but then when you've got £3 billion in the bank, then you don't.
Yeah,
if you get £3 billion from Sky, then most of the Premier League clubs are most likely, we'll just go off and get our.
Fast track it to the superstar.
But there is still talent. I mean, anybody says there's not talent enough in the Asian community is not looking hard enough.
Yeah, well, absolutely. But this is what I'm trying to get on the bottom of it, and I want most of our viewers, or all of our viewers, whether you're a parent or you're a player or you're coaching staff or management staff, like yourself, Shuiab, managing tournaments. What I really want to do for them is give them the encouragement, give them the confidence, and just kind of get it out there that we don't lack ability or potential. What we currently lacking is an infrastructure and stepping stones into the right places to kind of develop our young players and take them into the levels that they need to be. Would you agree with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that from your experiences, especially at the tournament level? Is there anything that we can do further to help support?
I mean, the only thing we've done over the last 2 years, we started with the tournament we do. We've got under 21s now. And last year when we did it, last 2 years, actually the under 21s games were better than the seniors. We actually like watching the under 21s.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then, Blackburn United, Fishwick. Right. I mean, there's a couple of clubs who are focused on that quite a lot. Blackburn United, one of them. Fishwick is another. I think Bolton United started getting some more.
Yeah.
The guys who are formerly Bolton Nomads, I think the Crompton FC, I think they're kind of getting in there too. And some of these clubs are focusing more on the under 21s now.
Okay.
Which is good.
That's really good. Other than that, in terms of our standard of football in British South Asians in the country, where do you think we sit in terms of the north and the south? Are we sitting on par, or how do you think we sit there?
To be honest, I'm not really. I mean, I've seen some. I've realised over the years some of the other teams down south tend to have a lot more and better facilities than us. So here we only got Nelson. It's like semi-professional club.
Yeah.
If you go down London, Birmingham, some of these places, they've got some really big semi-professional clubs who've been running for about 25 years. And we don't have that here. We've got clubs who've been running for 25 years, but mostly they play amateur leagues.
Such as how long Nelson been running for, me I ask?
Nelson been running, obviously. I think Fiaz took over about 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
6 years ago, yeah. So when you're talking 2 decades, we're just getting there. Would you say that?
Yeah, I mean that's the only one that's kind of. There's the rest of them down south. They've been running for 20, 25 years. I mean, 30 years.
Well, let's hope, inshallah, some of our work we're doing around here will keep consistent. We'll keep operating on that type of attitude and professionalism, and inshallah that will pave the way forward. Now, Shuiab, I did mention I'm a bit of a stink of a memory, and I've got to come back to a question that we skipped over on. I'm not sure you remember. You don't mind to do that, do you, Shuiab?
I mean, I wouldn't name one player.
Well, you do remember.
I name about 3 or 4 that I've played with and I've seen.
But before you do, Shuiab, could I just ask, who's the best all-rounded player? Because we did skip over that question, didn't we? And that's something that I'm intrigued.
Actually,
to hear.
I mean, Jav's been very good. Jav Mohammed once again, very good over the years.
Excuse me.
He's been pretty good over the years. I mean, we had a couple of good players, but I think I mean, one of the guys I think gets for a manager, the best thing you can have is a player who can play nets, play in defence, play in midfield, and play in attack.
Super player.
Super player, and I know he probably people might disagree with me, but Siddiq Patel, during his time, has managed to play in all those roles. I mean, I've managed him over the last 10, 15 years, and as a manager, it's not easy running a football team.
But Siddiq Patel is.
Yeah.
Siddiq,
yeah.
Siddiq Patel.
Yeah. So it's not easy managing a football team, but if you've got a player, one week you can say to him, get in nets, next week go in defence, go in attack, go in midfield.
Quite a versatile player.
Go up front, go in midfield. I mean, managed to do it all the time.
Yeah, Siddiq Patel.
Yeah.
I've got to give him a shout out.
He might not be the best.
Is he the guy to give a shout out to today?
You can give a shout out to him.
Yeah, am I okay to do that? Siddiq, well done to you, Siddiq. You've been a versatile player, a player that could play in any position, and from a management or captain point of view, you're the guy to call first. So very well done. And you also mentioned a name that keeps cropping up from time and every time on our shows, and it will only crop up because there's credit where credit is due. And Jav Mohammed, inshallah, soon we will meet, I hope. But wherever you are today, I wish you all the very best, and thank you for all your effort and hard work throughout your career. Alhamdulillah, great work. So Jav Mohammed as an all-rounder there as well, all-rounded player. You also mentioned Siddiq Patel. Would you then be kind enough, Shuiab, to mention, to let me know in your experiences and in your, journalism or editing, who would you actually put there in your top 3 footballers?
Well, our best player, basically, I mean, he was a different class anyway. It was Ralph Welsh, who played for us, I think, for BankTop.
Ralph
Welsh.
Yeah. Okay.
But he was trained at Blackburn Rovers and Blackburn Rovers Academy, and we managed to get him over here to play as a couple of games for us. So he was a different class.
He's got to be up there in your top 3.
But I think the player that we need to probably give a lot of credit to is the Turkish Sabo.
Okay.
Sabo Dashdemir. And the reason I say this is because in 1999 we were playing football at Gallagher's, and he turns up with his friend in jeans and some pumps. So we're picking teams, and the opposition is picking teams, and they go about. Then they look at him and they think, look at him, everybody's wearing kit, as you do, you're wearing tracky bottoms, you're wearing trainers.
Sure.
This guy's got a shirt on, jeans and pumps. So the other team didn't pick him, and then I go, alright, we'll have him. He comes on my team. And then from that moment on, he'd come on our team, he scored about 7 goals. And then at the end, everybody's congratulating him. And I said, look, never judge a book by its cover.
For real?
He couldn't speak any English. But he was, and then went on to play for Whalley Range. He played for quite a few clubs.
And was he part of the winning team? Well, at Whalley Range, because we witnessed it.
No, not that 7-a-side. This guy was grass. So this guy played semi-professional level in Turkey, and then come here in 1998. Couldn't speak any English. So when he started playing, even his English wasn't very good in 2002, 2003, and he used to come down and play at Pleasanton, but he was a very good striker.
Excellent. So that's number 2. Well, I've always said football is like a language anyway. Whether you speak it, once you share that football pitch with your players, there's a communication with the ball, isn't there, really? And it's understanding their messages and where to be. So that's two players, 2 I've not heard of before. Who would be your third player then, Shuiab? Let's have your third one.
I don't think I've got anybody else, actually. I mean, the guy I used to play with, our BankTop player, Majid Hussain, tall guy, people don't remember him. He was the quickest player on the pitch, but he was the best passer I've ever seen.
Yeah, technically gifted.
Yeah. Just
good awareness, a pulse goal type of person.
Anywhere.
Yeah, ping it through.
Basically his passing was... Yeah, I mean, he was...
Zidane-like?
Oh, yeah, he was very much designed. I think he'll probably be happy if you say that to him.
well, I'm sure he will be. But if you're mentioning it and you're kind of a journalist, then
I'll be honest with you, I'm a bit biased on that one because I used to play with him and he used to be just really good.
Bit of favouritism there kicking in.
Yeah.
That's absolutely brilliant. Look, Shuiab, it's been absolutely brilliant taking your views on all of that. It's been great. It's been giving me the insight, and that's what I wanted to understand in terms of where I am, how I see things, and how they actually matched on a general level in terms of our potential. Because this show is all about getting British South Asians into top 5 football. What we want to state and what we want to point out is that the potential and capability and ability is most definitely there. What we needed to do now, what we should be doing, is starting to believe in ourselves, believe in our players, believe in the conversations that we're having, and we want to portray our abilities in the best manner. Now, just before we wrap up on them questions, and one thing I want from all my views to kind of gauge from your intel, and there will be a lot of people that know you directly, Shuiab. A lot of these terms, obviously, you being the guy as a manager, organiser, and journalist, they would know you. And one thing I'd really like to get out from you, from all these areas in our game and all these experiences that you have, and I'm pretty sure which I read on Asianimage, there's a section on there which is on the spot.
Oh yeah, we used to do it before. Yeah.
Is that one of your sections?
Yeah.
So if I may turn the tables and put you on the spot on this one, would that be okay?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah. Right. I think I've already been put on the spot.
So you're on the spot. One thing I want to ask you now, Shuiab, if I may, is who will be in your dream team?
Yeah. It doesn't require.
Stay tuned, guys. This is going to be good.
Preparation, you see. Well, you have to start off in goals.
So that's what I was going to say. Let's start off with goals. We'll get to the bench, but let's start with goals.
Goalkeeper. I think Faiz Baruchi kind of has. Faiz Baruchi.
Faiz Baruchi, you're in.
Yeah.
Good work.
He's managed to. I think he's for over about 10-15 years. He was the best goalkeeper.
Consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah. First is the training. Plenty of training.
Yeah, the guy's so slim. I don't think he needs any training. But not like the rest of us who put on weight. But he's
okay.
The goalkeeper is done.
Goalkeeper, great. So let's move on and Shuiab. Right back.
Right back. So I think it's got to be. I can't remember his name. The guy for copies. I think it's Wakas. Is it? Yeah.
Wakas?
Yeah. I think for about 10 years he was brilliant. I think he was left back or right back. Left back.
He was left back, is he?
Yeah.
So we'll park him up on the left back there. Coming to the right back then. Have you got another name for us?
Right back.
Another talent. It's hard to choose sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
On the spot, guys. We're on the spot.
We'll have to come back to the right back.
Okay, we'll come back to the right back. Okay, so let's talk about centre right back.
Well, centre right back, we're going to have Kalim in there, one of them.
Sorry, which one?
Kalim Hafaji, we just mentioned before.
Kalim, sorry, yeah, we mentioned Kalim Hafaji, yeah?
Yeah,
so this time we're sticking him in the centre right back. Because he looked like a pretty tall fella, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, centre left back?
I'd put in Shez Rashid of Copies.
Shez Rashid?
Yeah, for
Mashallah.
about 10 years he was basically head and shoulders above everyone else.
For a good 10 years?
Yeah,
Excellent. So your point scoring a lot of your point scoring is based on consistency here, I've noticed.
Yeah, I think that's what it matters. It's alright when people have one or two good seasons.
Have a good two, but consistency here. So your dream team is made up of consistent players from over the years. Okay, so we've done left back. So you did mention who was it again, sorry?
Right back we need to come back to.
We'll come back to. So who was the left back again?
I think it was Wakas.
Wakas, you mentioned, from Copies United, right? Okay, so let's get to right wing.
Right wing, okay. I think I'll start off with midfield first. I'll go with midfield.
Yeah, centre mid.
In front of the back four, you'd have to have Jab Mohammed.
Jab Mohammed has to be there.
Yeah, he has to be.
Yeah, well, I have learnt that that's his natural position. There's a lot of hard work in that position, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It has to be him.
Yeah.
Pretty quick on that one.
Yeah.
Jab, you're in. Let's move on to is he a sweeping role or is there somebody?
No. In fact, alongside Jav, I'd have. Not have Jav Mohammed in front of the back four. I'd have Jav ahead of the back.
As an attacking midfielder.
Attacking midfielder. Behind him, I'd have a guy called Faki who used to play for Park United.
Park United, yeah.
Yes.
Faki.
Yeah.
Shout out to Faki. Well done, getting in Shuiab's dream team.
I mean, he tended to basically do 3-4 people's jobs all the time.
Yeah, hard work.
Yeah.
You have to, that position, a lot of hard work in that position.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, my position. But I'm not sure I got in your dream team just yet, but anyways, that's how it goes. Left wing?
Left wing.
On the spot.
It's a difficult one, actually. We've been some good left-sided players. Probably the best guy was used to play for Park United again, Ishrat Mehdi.
Sorry, who's that again? Ishrat Mehdi, yeah?
Yeah.
Park United.
Yeah, Park United.
Is Park United is it a local team? Is it Nelson team, isn't it?
The problem with Nelson is last couple of years they've not had that many good teams, but I think up to about 2010.
Is he kind of a small guy-ish?
Yeah.
He is, isn't he?
He runs Santa's Pizzas.
He's Santa's Pizzas, isn't it? Well,
Santa's
I tell you what,
free advert.
if Ish is watching this show, and I've had the pleasure, and I'm so happy you mentioned that name, because I was thinking he's the only really good player that I know, and I've had the pleasure to share the pitch with Ish a lot. I've played a lot of football with Ish, actually. So Ish, if you're watching this, well done. You've made Shuaib's dream team, alhamdulillah, and I hope you're very, very well. On a personal level, I've played a lot of football with you, my friend. It's been an absolute pleasure. So well done. Keep up your hard work in all areas, because I know you do help youngsters as well. So Ish, assalamu alaikum, well done, keep going. Shuaib, so where are we now? We're moving to right. We've got the right hand side's kind of empty here, Shuaib.
Right hand side,
you know, we're gonna
I'm perfectly honest.
We've got to fill this up.
I'd have to do research to find some good right hand players, because there's so many of them. It's difficult finding players who fit into that mould.
Okay, should we move on to the two attackers?
The two attackers, I'd have to go for Savo, the Turkish guy I mentioned.
The Turkish geezer, yeah. Is the Turkish geezer still, obviously not? Is he around at the moment? Is he still in the country?
No, his son actually is a professional player, so he plays for Peterborough.
Oh, excellent! His son is now a professional player. That's why he's doing really well there. So he definitely carried that passion on, and passed his talent over to the youngsters, actually taking it on seriously and made it into top flight football. Well, he's pro, isn't it, Peterborough?
Yeah. He did. He's been playing, I think, a couple of years. I think it was somewhere else. We signed for Peterborough.
Do you remember his name? His son's name?
Saha.
Saha.
Yeah.
Mashallah. Good. Very good. Excellent. And your second striker up front?
The striker wise, it's very difficult, to be honest. If I mention one name, then the other 3 or 4 people will think, why are you not mentioning
No, Shuaib, you go ahead. Let's have it.
Actually, the little lad who plays for Bolton United, he's been very good, actually, Nadir.
Little lad who plays for Bolton United, yeah? So you're talking about someone who's currently playing as well?
Yeah, I think he's still playing, yeah.
Yeah? How old is he about now?
Well, he's probably about mid-20s or so now.
Mid-20s?
Yeah, but he's a little lad, but I think every time I've seen him play...
And you're putting him amongst the stream team?
Yeah.
He must be really good.
Oh, I mean,
must have a lot of potential.
I think he's done last 6-7 years, he's done really well.
Yeah, well, he must be doing really, really well if he's getting into your dream team with that type of standard, because I'm beginning to feel the dream team there. What's that young lad called from Bolton United?
Nadir, I think Nadir Patel, is it?
Nadir Patel, very well done for getting into our Shuaib's dream team today. You must be doing really, really well. Please do continue with all your hard work. Right wing and right back finally, Shuaib. Is there anyone that we could slot in there today, or do we have to call you back for another show?
You probably have to call me back for another show. But I think there's a lad from, I think he was playing right back for Halifax. I think he was a good lad. I can't remember his name, actually, to be honest. You'll have to call me back for right wing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We'll have to get off here. I'm sure we'll have plenty of comments. And right wing? Anything on the right wing there?
Same again.
Yeah?
It requires a bit of thought.
To be continued, ...
Yeah.
But I appreciate that it requires thought. At least you're not just throwing the names out. So the names that have been mentioned, they're definitely fitting into them spots.
Oh, yeah, I think they would be, yeah.
Very well done.
Yeah.
Big shout out to all them people that have been into our Shuaib's dream team. I hope that in some way or form that you can continue to put your efforts into the game of football, which will help and aid the development for our youth today. Breaking.
In fact, I've got you. a right winger, which we should have in the team. Is the guy who played for us. I think most underrated player we had was Heather Naveed.
Heather Naveed.
He only played a couple of seasons.
Right back.
Right wing.
Right wing.
Yes.
Okay. Heather Naveed. Where's he from? Sure.
He's from Blackburn. He's from Darwin.
Darwin.
He's actually a doctor now.
Mashallah.
Well, his colleague Cameron, were very good players, both from Darwin, but he's actually a doctor. So if you are going hospital,
he's wonderful. Hopefully, you find him on the right wing.
Yes. Okay.
Just finally, as well, Shuiab, just mentioning, who was that guy who used to be playing for that as well? Naveed.
He used to play for us, BankTop.
Yeah, right back. You've got to squeeze the right back out for us. Just do it for us, Shuiab. You have to do it for all our views. I'm eagerly anticipating your decision for right back. On the spot, guys, on the spot.
No, we'll have to think about it.
I'm trying here, guys. I'm really trying.
If I had time, I'd have put all those together properly, you think.
Yeah, so we leave a question mark on that one. Big blocks, question mark.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, guys. You're gonna have to stay tuned because some way I'm gonna find out what this right back is going to be. So Shuiab, just final message, and I'd love to hear the final message. You've got a lot of experience. You've come across a lot of youngsters who are now obviously kind of passed over from playing football or just at the end of their careers. You've done a lot of articles, I imagine, and done a lot of journalism. What kind of encourage or support or kind of mention or kind of advice would you like to give young players now, and knowing how much potential and how much capabilities British South Asians actually bring to the game?
I think a lot of the time, it's hard, especially with local football, it's hard running a local football team.
Okay.
And you've got to give credit to people like Blackburn United, Fishwick, even Coppice.
The management side of it all.
Yeah, the guys who go out and do the kids' football, it's not easy going on a Sunday morning and getting the kids down, putting it on putting the nets up, freezing cold. You've got to give it credit to them. And the other thing is what I realised, for example, a lot of the time, I know we mentioned all the best players and so forth, but let's be perfectly honest.
There's a lot of supporting
most
players.
Most of the players on the pitch are not those players. Most of the players are players like me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
we go there, somebody says,
the team.
Can you play right back? Yeah, I'll play right back. Can you play left back? I'll play left back. Can you play centre back? Can you play centre back? Can you do this? That's basically what makes it. That's what makes up a team. So a lot of the time, I know we mentioned all the players. That's probably because it was good fun.
Yeah, but we've got to mention these other guys that make the team.
The other guys basically are the ones who turn up. I mean,
they do the hard defending. They're defending. They're running back. They're not getting into them spotlight positions, but they're doing a lot of hard working.
They turned up to make up. They've got to make up the 11 somehow.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
And 2 or 3 players might shine on the day.
Yeah.
But sometimes that guy might have a great game and so forth, and that's what I tended to see in some of the teams I played against. Teams like AC Milan, and even I think there's a team here used to be called Audley, and then the Cockneys had their own team, and they used to turn up. Maybe they didn't win every week, but they were there and they played, and then during the fight,
they stay in the fight.
Yeah, you had your game, and then afterwards you just smiled, shook hands, and went home.
Excellent. So you want to kind of give a shout out and encouragement to all them guys.
Yeah, those are guys. I think those are guys who make up the. Those are guys
make the game happen.
Make the game happen, because without those guys, there's no game.
You couldn't just have one superstar.
No.
Anyway, could you?
Yeah.
So we need all the team to come together. That's absolutely great. Shout out to everybody being involved, and I think that really does open it up as well. That there's many aspects to the game of football. It's not only just being the superstar or being on the pitch. I think just like yourself, you're a journalist, a columnist. You're doing the editing. Then you've got like spectators who actually make the game interesting. You've got the groundsmen. You've got every part of the game that you can be involved with. It's not necessarily only coaching or only playing. There's every aspect of the game to get involved in, and everybody can get involved at some point, some aspect of the game. So please do, and if you're in them part of the game today, this show, in particular myself and Shuiab, I'd like to give a big, massive mention out to all the people, all the sporting staff, all the people making it happen, all the team players turning up and making things happen. So do continue on with all your efforts. Inshallah, we will see the next British South Asian breaking into top flight football, and we will be happy with the community and work together. Is that all right, Shuiab?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your insights.
Come out and have a bath for once. So.
Yeah, Jazakallah. We still didn't give us a right back. Hopefully we'll get there soon enough.
Okay.
Please do continue with your efforts as well, Shuiab. You're doing a great job over the years. Jazakallah. Thank you very much for doing everything. Yasser also mentioned, big shout out to yourself, and you're getting great credit for it. So bless you. Please do continue with your efforts. And for all my viewers, thank you very much. As it always goes, it goes without saying, thank you very much for all your time, your support, your help, your likes, your shares, your mentions. Without you guys, this simply just would not be possible. Thank you for UCTV for giving us a platform to air the show, and all your comments and all the support from all us here at UCTV as well. I wish you the very best. I hope you do stay safe, do help, support, encourage, pass the right ideologies and the positive mindsets to one another, and inshallah let's all make it happen together, because together we're all better, and in unity there's great betterness. So please do continue on. Thank you very much for your time. This is your host Hussein Mahmood, presented live on UCTV. Look forward to next week's show, and I'll catch you then.